And we are live. Good morning, Crypto Warriors, and welcome back to the Gentlemen of Crypto, episode 1198. Goodness gracious, today is Friday, March 1st, 2024, and I'm King, here to bridge the gap between community and crypto, most days Monday through Friday at 10ish. Today's definitely a 10ish day. Top stories: U.S. lawmakers advance resolution to get banks in on crypto custody. State attorneys general argue SEC overstepped in Kraken lawsuit. Binance drops Nigerian Naira from P2P platform. Government demands $10 billion compensation. And Elon Musk sues Sam Altman, OpenAI, over agreement breach. But first and foremost, of course, let's go ahead and check out those prices on the day. I know you all are super excited as me. We are back. Hey, you notice how mainstream news is not reporting on this? It's kind of crazy, right? But Bitcoin's coming in at 61,957. Surely to push to that 64K mark this weekend. Ethereum's at $3,417, down 1.64%. BNB at number 4, $404, down 0.97%. Solana number 5, $133, up 1.93%. Cardano at number 8 at 69 cents, down 1.26%. Number 10, Avalanche at 41.91, down 3.25%. Trending tokens are Pepe Coin, Dog, What If, that coin with, of course, which has been pumping. One of those meme coins going crazy. People like Porto. Then you have recently added XRGB, Africare, Ubuntu, and Venom. Extreme Greed is at 85, is up there. Bitcoin dominance at 52.8, and Ethereum at 17.8%. And those are your prices on the day. And really quick, of course, let me give some quick shout outs to all our warriors out there. What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome back to the stream. Chat, what's going on? Welcome back. Today's a great day in crypto, of course. Bitcoin is a pumping. What's going on, Laura Smith, Hummy, Developer, Patrick, Walter, Jerome Jones, JB, NT, Memories with Mike, DM Card, Crypto, Mystic, Crypto Night Train, Alapio, Wisdom Bars. We back from dead. You know it. Hyben. Let's see. Holloway Fan Bell. Memories of Mike said they aren't reporting it because it's not retail buying it. Of course, we know that. If you know, you know. I don't think it will be a big deal to mainstream and retail until it passes all-time highs. Hey, you're talking about 2 or 3 weeks then possibly, right? We'll see. And it's actually right on track to hit the all-time high for the next halving. So the real question will be, again, is this price already fixed in? A lot of people say no. These ETFs are new. Supply and demand metrics are about to kick in. Doesn't matter what it says now. We're still going up. Others are saying it's already baked in. Well, hey, they said that about the ETF too, and that turned out to be absolutely false. So for sure. And yes, I will definitely have it popping. Wyatt tried the Discord. It's been a lot going on behind the scenes. Hey, we just hit all-time high again, people. Guess what? This view is gone, okay, people? This view is officially gone. Enjoy it here. Let me move out the way. Enjoy that beautiful Los Angeles view one last day. I am moving tomorrow. That's right. King is moving. Look, you know how it go. That Bitcoin price get to pump and we get to spending. No, I'm just playing, but not really. I am going to be moving tomorrow. So that was why the last week or two I've been off on the Discord. Another project I've been working on silently that's hopefully going to come out soon. I just wrapped. And shout out to myself. I've been wanting to do this for forever. You know, it was one of the things I always thought about as a kid. Didn't think it was going to happen. But I just wrapped my first AI metaverse series. People, I am a character in a metaverse. I can't talk too much about it right now. The Unreal Engine is being used for a show I just did. I was casting. I'm the second lead in this show. Small project right now. Small in terms of it's not millions of dollars behind it, but it's a good, you know, some capital behind it. But it will be the first metaverse AI show ever created. I gotta tell you, people, it's like really fun. I won't lie, I won't cap on you. Of course, we won't know how it's going to turn out, but I see how they did some of the first episode and stuff. They did the first episode as a proof of concept months earlier, I guess, like last year sometime. And it's pretty cool. All right, we talking about a real AI show supposed to be in the metaverse. Think Ready Player One, but as a series. So just got finished with that. And then again, I will be moving tomorrow. So of course I'm gonna be spending some of this Bitcoin money because I don't know how to save it, as we all should. And yes, so a lot going on, but all good news. And then more news to come toward the end of March. Long story short, I am booked for all of March. Hollywood is taking care of me. I got a campaign. I'll be in 3 or 4 different states this month. So right now we're looking at Texas, Florida, Tampa, Houston, and Phoenix. So more to come. But again, I'm moving and grooving. Hollywood's been good to me, people. I've only been MIA because I'm building up greatness over here. But yes, I will be in the Discord. I've been waiting until I officially move, and the reason why is because I also want to invest some of my own money and show you all some of my plays. But I haven't feel comfortable. You know, in the middle of a move. I'm in LA. Moves cost on average between $5,000 to $7,000 when you're talking about first month's rent, security deposit, blah blah blah, all that good stuff. So it's just like I was thinking, let me roll this capital into all this moving stuff. Once I'm settled, I'll roll it back into crypto. So that's what's going to happen after this week. All right. Other than that, Reggie Middleton, what up? What's up, Reggie? I just saw a good comment from Reggie. I want to check it out. He had mentioned some type of discussion. Hold on, Reggie. I'm taking a peek at this comment. I just saw you comment on there. Let me see. Catch some of you all. Crypto Night Train, what's going on? Bitcoin Shango. Hello, hello, hello. Man, I just missed this comment, Reggie. They are spit. Oh, let's have hardcore discussions that you just don't see here in social media or mainstream media. You already know, man. It's kind of crazy right now. And you know what? Let me go ahead and put that link in the chat. If anybody want to call in, especially you, Reggie, you have a chance. Anybody wants to call in, drop some crypto jewels, shill your favorite coin, whatever. Let me know. All right. Top story of the day, though. U.S. lawmakers advance resolution to get banks in on crypto custody. Oh, say it ain't so. They don't want to report an all-time high, but hey, listen, we got to get the fixes. It needs to be in ASAP. They see it slipping. People, Bitcoin goes to 100, 150K, and there's no SOP, standard operating procedure, in place. There's no banks available to custody crypto and all these other mechanisms they were hoping to have by now. If that isn't together by the time we hit 100, 150K, oh, man, you talking about first movers advantage will be missed. The banks, the institutions will be taking the biggest L that they have ever taken since their inception. No amount of fines, jail time, nothing will amount to what will happen if banks aren't set up to custody crypto here in the next few months before it really goes crazy. If it doesn't happen, they're going to miss this first mover advantage. And I'm telling you, this will more than likely be the death of banks and banking institutions if they miss it, which is why I think they're going to try to push this ASAP. The House Financial Services Committee has voted to advance a resolution that could overturn the controversial Staff Accounting Bulletin number 121. The United States Financial Services Committee, HSFC, has voted in favor of a resolution that seeks to overturn the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission guideline that has prevented banks from getting in on crypto custody. In the February 29th markup hearing, 31 HSFC members from both sides of the political aisle voted in favor of the resolution, with 20 members voting against it. You have to ask yourself, especially in these political times where the left isn't seeing the right and the right isn't seeing the left, and so on and so forth. Again, this is why I say the government's the same. When we're talking federal government, they are working together. They are working together to push the federal government forward. So it doesn't matter if it's a Republican or a Democratic thing if it helps the federal government. The nuances, you all get caught up in the nuances. What's a nuance, King? A nuance is, I don't know, will the federal government endorse abortion or not? Okay. And I know some people say, well, that's not really a nuance. The federal government, no, it's they have left it up to the states, right? Right or wrong, they left it up to the states. And I make that point because regardless of what they say about abortion, I can pretty much guarantee you everyone in the federal government is going to vote yes to keep bombing the Middle East and keep stealing oil from people who don't want us to take their oil. Like that's just going to happen no matter who's in power. Okay. The same thing when it comes to the government trying to get all our taxes, all our capital, and everything else that has anything to do with money on both sides of the aisle. They're looking at each other like we can agree on this. We can get along on this one, right? You need to be asking yourself why all of a sudden, right? So again, both sides of the political aisle voted in favor of this resolution, which says by overturning SAB 121, the resolution will ensure consumers are protected. Yeah, what I always tell you, whenever they're talking about protecting consumers, the fix is in. Consumers are protected by removing roadblocks that prevent highly regulated banks from acting as custodians of digital assets, said the House Financial Services Committee in a statement. You all please tell me how private banks, private businesses, how a private business will suddenly protect consumers when they are not doing it in the traditional sector. We just saw Wells Fargo make 5,000 fake accounts a few years ago. Chase gets fined literally every other day for doing some dirty banking. Like literally the banks are the antithesis of consumer protection. Yet here are both aisles, both sides. I want to make sure this is clear. Both Democrats, your favorite Democrats and your favorite Republicans are both saying, hey, we know banks can protect consumers by removing these roadblocks. People, there aren't any roadblocks in crypto. Don't believe the BS. And here we motherfucking go again down the scam circle of the government. The SEC Staff Accounting Bulletin number 121, introduced in March of 2022, is a set of guidelines that requires institutions that custody crypto assets to record crypto holdings as liabilities on their balance sheets. Again, I wouldn't necessarily agree with the liabilities part, but it essentially made it a little bit more cumbersome. Excuse me, my nose is running today, stuffy, all types of stuff. It's essentially making it more cumbersome for a bank to carry Bitcoin, right? They're saying, hey, you can't say this is an asset. You have to mark it as liability, and you won't be able to put something on the other side, which in turn could be a loss for the bank, which is probably why they did not want it on their balance sheet. So I can probably, I can go ahead and assume what they're going to do as they try to turn this over is to reintroduce how it's labeled, i.e., maybe not an asset, but not a liability either, where it just kind of sits there for, at its best. They really want it to be an asset, but they're going to redo the verbiage. They're going to redo the verbiage. They're going to redo the way they claim crypto assets, claim Bitcoin, so that this can actually pass and everything can look good. But let's not forget the scam right now. The government, once again, is saying, hey, we need to allow banks to hold crypto to ensure consumers are protected. You have to be fucking kidding me that the government would say this with a straight face. But they are. Why? Because the corruption is unchecked. Again, this is a Republicans and Democrats. Republican Congressperson Mike Flood, the lawmaker who introduced the resolution, said that SAB 121 was unfair for banks looking to custody crypto, as custodial assets are always considered off balance sheet. What I'll tell you is all about the balance sheet, which includes securities and digital assets such as Bitcoin. The ramifications requiring banks to hold these assets on balance sheet are pretty significant. As he was quoted as saying, if a bank were to custody digital assets according to parameters of SAB 121, the on-balance sheet treatment would affect their other regulatory obligations, like their capital and liquidity requirements. Yes, and this is what they don't like. Why is that a bad thing? That makes sense. We've seen it in crypto. Essentially, they're getting mad because they're saying, hey, you all are saying Bitcoin and crypto is this big liability and affects the balance sheet of our bank, which is why we can't technically hold it, right? Like they could hold it if they had some nuts. You know what I mean? They could hold it if they could tell everyone who bank with them, like, hey, I know it's going to look like on the stock market or to our banking balance sheets that we've lost money, but it's only because we've diversified a new asset class that we believe is more valuable than the fiat currency, the dollar. But they can't come out and say that, nor can people, ordinary people, or the banks even themselves accept that everything won't be on a straight upward linear line. Sometimes there are going to be some downtrends. Sometimes we're going to diversify and do different things. Stockholders don't want to hear that, and bankers are too scared to even tell stockholders that, which is why I said they don't have the nuts to carry this type of asset on their balance sheet. So instead of having the nuts and saying to your customers, hey, it may look like we're not worth that much because we're diversifying, instead they're saying, no, we want to go back to the nanny state. We want to go back to regulators and government, and we want you all to change the way the rules and the wording is so that we can carry Bitcoin and crypto and have no liabilities. The reason why that doesn't work, we just saw with FTX. If you're trying to carry crypto and you're trying to do other banking practices and you're not trying to count it as a liability, the day it actually dips, the day something goes wrong, the day you start to lose millions of dollars in this part of your portfolio, it will affect the overall portfolio. You cannot get away with that. They are going to be tied line in line. There's no getting away from it. So again, you now have the dirty bankers hiring their governments, their regulators, and their politicians to go vote for bills that essentially say, hey, there should be no protection. There should be no safeguards for banks. They should be allowed to custody crypto, keep it as an asset, no liability, no debt, no issues. And if anything goes wrong, we know what's going to happen. Taxpayers are going to pay for it. And so far, the Democrats and Republicans are both going along with it, people. That's what that vote just showed us. They're both going along with it. The fix is in. All I can say is this may be a great thing for the price of Bitcoin because at the end of the day, it's a base hit. While it's super whack, banks are trying to control it, custody it, and blah, blah, blah. If and when they're allowed to do it, that just means more people are going to buy crypto. More people are going to buy Bitcoin, so on and so forth. And again, you better believe, and this is probably where this $80,000 red candle is going to come from. You better believe as soon as some of these banks start to custody and everything, there will be a mishap of greater proportions than FTX. And when it happens, the market will dip $60,000 to $80,000 in one day. I'm assuming the price at this time will be about 120 to 150, 160K, but it will dip. That's going to be our big, dirty red candle. That's going to scare the shit out of people. 60,000 in one day? And it's going to be like, yeah, it's 40%. So what? Like, you know what I mean? But that's definitely going to happen. And I'm telling you, it's definitely going to happen because this is the breeding ground for it to happen. Them saying, oh, no, banks shouldn't be allowed, have to do this, and they should be allowed. Like, I'm telling you, this is the breeding ground, is a fertile breeding ground to allow foul play in crypto. And we are going to see it. We see it time and time again. The one thing that's undefeated is human intervention is going to happen. Yes, there will be another dip, but this dip will only go down to $90,000 to 60, 70,000. It won't be a dip to epic proportions as far as price wise. It'll just be a dip of epic proportions as far as the amount of fiat in one day. Kind of like we just saw. I saw an article that says essentially this was Bitcoin's first $20,000 month or whatever, and it's like, yeah, this is how it's going to start happening. It's going to go up 20, it's going to go down 15, it's going to go up 30, it's going to go down 40, it's going to go up 80, it's going to go down 60. Like, it's about to start happening in this volatile way. So I'm happy to see it happen. It's crazy that the banks and lawmakers are getting on board with more bullshit. And again, this is the problem right now. Literally, if there was someone in our country to stop this, to say no, like, look at banks' track record. They do not, should not, and will not be custodying crypto unless they are ready to say it's a liability. You got to nut up if you want to custody this stuff. You're not just going to custody this and not have, like, if anything goes wrong, no, it's not our fault. No. You're going to custody this with a lot of risk because it comes with a lot of reward. I'm okay with that, but I just wish it was somebody in there to say the buck stops now. There's no way in hell Democrats, and like, whenever both sides of the aisle are agreeing on something, you really need to look at why, people. And especially when they're saying it's for your protection all of a sudden. Come on, man. I'm not believing this. You don't need protection. You can store it yourself. And actually, I will actually argue that I think there are less hacks if you store it with self-custody than if you were to centralize it in exchange or bank. So not with it, don't like it, but we shall see what happens. Well, we know what's going to happen. We'll see when it happens. Let's see, 5150 Gamer Johnson, what up, though? Said crypto is a new real estate for Wall Street. You already know it. Imagine the insurance around that. I mean, that's what they're doing right now. The derivatives. All right, a bank holds $50 million Bitcoin. Who's going to insure that? Like, the game goes on, and you see what I mean? That's more paper, it's more derivatives. And at the end of the day, it's like, okay, even the insurance company, like, are you all buying Bitcoin? Like, who's buying what on the back end to ensure this? Or is this just going to be another algorithmic Ponzi scheme, except on the fiat side, where you're saying, yeah, we're this is my XYZ token, but we're going to buy Bitcoin with it to balance it off. That way the algo, like, I don't know. This seems like the traditional version of an algo scheme to me. Oh, yeah, shout out to Coinbase. I forgot to even cover them today. Yeah, I heard Coinbase shut down. I mean, what the fuck are people still doing on it? But this is my point. Coinbase is still huge. They're still big business. They shut down as Bitcoin was on the way back to its all-time high. Thank you, Coinbase. Thank you for shutting down, because you showed the people that nothing has changed. Absolutely nothing has changed, and I love it. You know why? You know how many people are on, like, people on set. This is why I don't talk to crypto about crypto. People find out I'm in it, where they start asking. This is how it usually goes. People ask you questions, and then they insert their thoughts and beliefs, which are usually negative to crypto, which is like, why are you telling me? Just go do your own thing in the corner. But they're just like, yeah, I don't believe in this. It seems kind of scammy and this. And why wouldn't you want to use a Coinbase? Why wouldn't you want the government help? Why wouldn't you want a bank to custody it? And again, these are always people on the outside. There are never people who are actually coiners who have even read the white paper. There are always people who never read the white paper, who don't hold that much Bitcoin, and they're just trying to get rich quick. They're the ones. Why wouldn't you want a bank to custody it? Why wouldn't you want to use Coinbase? There are still people today. What is wrong with Coinbase? That is what is wrong with Coinbase. At optimal trading times, they will ensure you cannot trade and you will lose money. And this goes on the way up and on the way down. You better believe if Bitcoin were to start falling day 15, 20, 30K, you wouldn't be able to go on Coinbase. Your crypto will be taking a big L. So again, I am so happy Coinbase is around and still doing what Coinbase does. It makes me smile. Coinbase, you keep being you, man. I'm not even mad anymore. That's what you're here to do. You're here to do exactly that. People want exchanges, and they're seeing what an exchange actually looks like. I love it. All right, state attorney is in the news. State attorneys general argue SEC overstepped in Kraken lawsuit. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. So the headline is pretty much a story here. What I liked about this headline, and I gave the state attorney props for, this was something I said Kraken should have did. And this is my point. Shout out to the state attorney for stepping up anyway. But again, Kraken, Coinbase, Binance, everything else in between. If you all were to push back against the government and SEC, a regulatory body, when they pushed you and subpoenaed you and try to sue you and do everything else, if you would have pushed back with your own capital, not only would you have been able to fight it with your own lawyers and attorneys, which I've highlighted plenty of times on this show, but it looks like the government would have actually stepped up with you. Could you imagine the 2 to 3 to 4 prong attack? It would have been Binance, all their money. You remember they're giving the government like $4 or $5 billion. It would have been Binance. It would have been Kraken. And let's throw Coinbase in there as well. So I think it's fair to say between those three exchanges, they could have gathered $100 million in lawyer fees and legal fees, right? They could have got $100 million of retainer fees for the best lawyers and attorneys in the country. Then you add on, you're going to get some help from the state attorney and who knows, whatever regulator and politician who might see it your way as well. This would have been winnable and avoidable. You could have changed the trajectory of the regulatory environment in crypto, and you could have kept hundreds of millions of dollars and made your stockholders happy. I'm looking at you, Coinbase, but no, you decided to bitch up. You decided to capitulate to the government. You said, okay, government, okay, principal so-and-so, okay, hall monitor, I know I didn't do anything wrong, but I'm still going to give in to whatever you say because this is your world and I'm just living in it. Oh, man, let your nuts drop, okay? This is God's world. You're allowed to do what you want. Everything is man-made. People, America is man-made. Russia is man-made. India and China, all man-made. Humans made all these countries and governments. People, stop being a bitch, okay? You literally have 3 private companies worth in excess of billions of dollars scared to go to court. Ugh. I mean, again, I don't even blame the company. I'm pretty sure you all, whoever you hired as your PR person, as your strategic, I forgot what they call them, but your strategic person to give you info how you should move, whoever those people you all hired, you should pretty much fucking fire. Because all you did was like show the government that you are scared and made the bully up even more. But again, if you would have pushed back in the slightest bit with your capital, now it looks like you also would have had the government on your side and you wouldn't have got sued. You literally, when you look at Binance, you would not owe the government $4 to $5 billion. Coinbase, you wouldn't have owed the government millions and hundreds of millions of dollars. Kraken, you wouldn't owe the government millions of dollars. All y'all had to do was push back. You could have kept this in court for another 5 to 10 years, but no. Like, that is what pisses me off the most. It's like God does not make mistakes. Wow, way to put the weaklings in power, right? Like, this is crazy. But attorneys general, not just one, from numerous states filed a brief that calls out the SEC for its enforcement action against the Kraken crypto exchange, saying it used undelegated authority. I mean, again, the headline is in the title. Well, the story's in the headline, is in the title. I'll go a little bit in detail, but there's not much to go in detail about. The attorney general is stepping up. Like, all you had to do, Kraken, Coinbase, and Binance, was sprinkle a little bit of money on top with a couple of attorneys, a couple of fundraisers for some re-election campaigns, and a couple of charity drives for whatever the state attorney generals need. And boom, you got yourselves a win and you're saving millions of dollars. But no, SEC Gary Gensler scared all y'all out y'all position and made you get. I mean, was it that easy? Goodness gracious, it was really that easy. They must have literally had flashbacks from being a child and that chocolate milk money. Here, just take it. Oh, I'm sorry. They just had they had a flashback. I was just watching El Camino the other day, folks. If you haven't seen El Camino, it's the Breaking Bad movie. And literally there's a flashback for those who don't know. Jesse, one of the main characters, he has a chance to actually shoot a guy who kidnaps him, right? He's been kidnapped for a while. He's been beaten. They killed his girlfriend in front of him. And the guy asked him to grab a pack of cigarettes out the front glove compartment. And he opens the glove compartment and there's a gun in there. And he grabs the gun. And the guy's like, Jesse, what are you doing with that gun? Like, give me that gun. And he's like, and he's crying and he's shaking because this is his kidnapper. He wants to shoot him. And he just doesn't have it in him. He gives the guy his gun. The guy who's kidnapped him, who's beaten him, who's tortured him, who's killed his girlfriend. Again, this is theatrical. but he gives him the gun instead of shooting him. That's the same way I'm looking at Kraken, Coinbase, and Binance. You literally gave Gary Gensler, the SEC, the government, the gun that you have billions of dollars to your name, and you just give it to them without hiring a lawyer and going to court. Oh man, these are the people in charge of the crypto market. These are the people who are in charge of the ethos of decentralization, open source, all these other things that people love. These are the people at the heads of the table because the masses has put them there, and this is the way they think. It's amazing. Disruptor in chief, what is going on? What you got for us today?
Hey, what's up, brother?
There we go, Reggie Milton. Oh, this is the wrong name. This is Father of DeFi supposed to be up here. What's the word? How are you today?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right. Considering it's going to work out, but not getting my sleep.
Let me ask you this.
What's up?
You since you have experiences, is the boogeyman that bad to where the SEC could just say something and you got the likes of Binances and Coinbases and everybody else just like just take the money and leave? Is that bad?
Well, it's bad enough. See, you have to understand that there are a lot of people who look at it from the outside looking in, and they have absolutely no idea what's going on the inside. So I'm not going to name any particular agency, but let's suppose there was an alphabet agency, administrative, that oversees securities markets. And they say, well, big crypto exchange, you make a lot of money, okay, and we're going to investigate you. You can cooperate and we'll go easier, or you can not cooperate, we'll go hard. They bring in other agencies, and those other agencies do only or solely criminal, which means consider jail time, consider more fines, more etc. And they say basically give you a deal you can't refuse, like the old school Godfather. And if faced with the guarantee of a criminal investigation and the guarantee of an attempt for jail time plus civil, and then the possibility compared to the possibility of just civil from an agency, which would you choose?
I get it.
Hold on, just want to add one thing now. Now the problem is, after they make that promise and they make you an offer and you take the offer in an attempt to make things lighter, a few months later, lo and behold, they come with the criminal and the big bad guns and everything anyway. So you can't always necessarily believe what is told you, but assuming what I say is correct, I can understand why these exchanges are attempting, to acquiesce and bend over. But, apparently they don't realize what happens when you do acquiesce. That doesn't mean they leave you alone.
Stop. They don't stop.
They just keep going after you. You give that bully money the first time, you don't get to eat tomorrow.
Right. You think I'm gonna stop taking it now? No, this is what we do. Look, the government SEC came back 3 months later to some of these companies like Coinbase. They doubled back and was like, what's wrong? I get surprised, bro. Don't act like you don't know what this is. Here's my thing. This is why I always say gang, and this is why I also say all these people with money is like you're still not part of the gang. You haven't done nothing in the American government. People, y'all really don't understand this. I would say, put it like this. If any of these companies were ran by a veteran, it wouldn't go down like this. It definitely would. Because listen, people, it's this thing. If you ever been in the military, you know what I'm about to say. Hey, I'll call mommy and daddy. And for those who don't know what that means, that's calling the highest ranking person you know that you cool with. And for me, I got some high rankings, boy. They will make some calls too, and they be like, oh, you ain't gonna do him like this. This is one of ours. And everything will be sorted. But what's happening now, you got all these civilians with all this money in crypto. And you got you talk about Binance. You're not even an American civilian. Oh my boy, you are in some. Hey, you're on the wrong side, homie. So then you got people like that. It's like you're not even American, and you making money. Oh, so I really do understand why they're doing it. All I'm saying is they need to hire some more people on their team. Like if I was on any of these teams, I'd be like, man, give me who? Gary, man, give me the phone, bro. Let me see what I can do on the back end first. At least make this cost us 40% less than what it's costing right now, because this is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. Binance hired one of the most prominent lobbyists, administration. You have access to the internet? You can do a quick internet search?
Yeah, I'm listening to you right now. Go ahead.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Let's do it like this. We could all participate because I'm curious. What was the largest fine paid by a bank to a government regulatory agency in the U.S.?
I would have to say Chase off the top of my head. A bank paying a fine to a
Largest
government
fine
agency?
paid by a bank to a government regulatory agency in the U.S. was $16.65 billion by Bank of America in 2014. This fine was levied to settle allegations of fraudulent practices related to mortgages and mortgage-backed securities in the lead up to the 2008 financial crisis. The settlement was with the U.S. Department of Justice and various state and federal agencies. It was part of a broader effort to hold financial institutions accountable for their roles in the financial crisis.
Okay, so I realized $16.5 billion was all the agencies together. So they're not finished with Binance. Binance is at $4.5 billion. Binance is a startup. You know, as a matter of fact, all crypto companies are startups because crypto
crazy.
didn't start till 2009. So when I say startup, then definitely not mature companies at all.
Right, for sure.
You can expect now that $16.5 billion by Bank of America was probably recouped the following year. Okay, now here's something interesting. I'm going to ask another question because I like using the ChatGPT thing, right?
Hey, listen, you just shocked me when you was using it. I'm like, is that what the hype is? Oh my God, that thing works amazing. I haven't used it yet. As I'm typing, I'm hearing the answer. I'm like, oh, hell no. Is that what oh my God, the future is here, people. Go ahead though, Reggie.
Yeah. What major bank was put out of a business by a regulatory fine in the U.S.?
I'm gonna have to say Bear Stearns off the top of my head. Bear Stearns. I'm going Bear Stearns.
You just messed up my search. That's all right.
Oh, they heard me. Oh, my fault. Lady.
One last time. Hold on. What major bank was put out of business by a regulatory fine in the U.S.?
No major bank has been put out of business solely by a regulatory fine in the U.S. However, some banks have faced significant financial consequences and regulatory actions as a result of fines and legal penalties. For example, Washington Mutual, one of the largest savings and loan associations in the U.S., was seized by regulators in 2008 due to liquidity problems and concerns about its mortgage lending practices during the subprime mortgage crisis. While regulatory fines and legal issues contributed to its downfall, they were not the sole reasons for its closure.
Okay. Now, if I were to ask ChatGPT, right, what crypto companies were put out of business by regulatory actions, you think it'd have an answer? I can think of one off the top of my head, ran by a real handsome brother, but we're not going to go there, right? So I did these queries because it goes back to your original point. Banks are not going to get put out of business by fines. Okay, the fines to the banks are usually proportion to annual earnings.
Yeah, they're baked in already.
Yeah. So, but crypto companies are put out. They're literally laid down. Crypto companies that are domiciled outside the U.S. have been damaged. Binance, BitMEX, etc. And many in the U.S. have been put out of business on a startup basis. You know, I'm not going to go into, you know, the validity of the claims. I'm not even going to go there. But I know one thing: it's not like they're trying to straighten behavior out. They're taking players out completely.
Oh, it's competition. It's
you know,
it's straight competition. That's the sad part about it. It's like it is so obvious. Like I said, they're fully taking them out. They have no right to take them out. And now you see articles like this where the state attorney, and this is from hold on really quick, folks. This was from multiple states as well. It wasn't just from one state. This was from about like 5 or 6 states. I'm seeing if I can find it really quick. But you have state attorneys. Here we go. Arkansas, Iowa, Mississippi, Montana, Nebraska, Ohio, South Dakota, and Texas are all saying what the SEC did is wrong after the fact. But it's like people are seeing it, just nobody's saying nothing or stopping it. Like you said, the fix is kind of in. They want this to happen.
Hey, so, but you see a lot of financial institutions are coming in. Let's ask another question. Let's see how well ChatGPT is able to answer these questions. Is the cold storage method of storing Bitcoin and Ethereum patented in the U.S.?
As of my last update in January 2022, I'm not aware of any patents specifically related to storing Bitcoin and Ethereum using the cold storage method in the US. However, patent information may change over time, so it's advisable to consult the latest patent databases or legal resources for the most up-to-date information.
Well, I believe I'm aware of patents that cover crypto transfer and storage. More than one, actually. Now, if I'm aware of it, then somebody else has to be aware of it. At the very least, the holders of the patents. I'm not going to say I'm the one that holds the patents. I'm not going to go into who holds it. But, as Wall Street rushes in, right, to compete with Coinbase and these other big exchanges, which are really broker dealers, be aware that nobody is still doing the proper due diligence, not in my opinion. So you're going to stack these trillions and trillions upon trillions of dollars in, and you're going to build it on somebody else's land. And when they come collecting rent, don't be shocked. But nobody's taking that into consideration.
That's the part I think that has to happen sooner rather than later, and that's the rent collecting, because it's one of those things where it's like, here's the thing. When you're dealing with bad people, folks, here's the thing. When you're dealing with violent and bad people in the streets, it's always funny, especially in California, because this is ground zero. But don't throw them in jail. You got to, their childhood. You got to talk to them. This happened, that happened. Violence only knows one answer and one response, and that's more violence. Okay. So until the patent clapping get to happening, then I think people are gonna keep running wild. It has to be, one has to get enforced, I think, in order for these companies to even start to think about it. And Jake is saying this, and I kind of agree with him. It's unfortunate, but he said nobody's worried about companies and regulatory actions when Lambo Bitcoin is at 62 before halving. Let me ask you this: do you think this is, the price action fervor has taken over any thought of a mature market? You talk about regulatory issues, patent issues. Do you think just when the money goes up is the only thing people are thinking about by and large?
Well, I think people think about money. Most of the money is not in price of Bitcoin or Ethereum, and markets. A lot of people just confused. Think about the internet back in 1993. The companies that made the real money in the internet, most of them made the money, later on, 97, 2000, etc. They didn't make money by buying IP packets. They made money by buying the infrastructure and owning the infrastructure and building on top of the infrastructure. So you think Bitcoin going from, $60 to $62,000 is a lot, and it is a lot. Imagine if you owned the infrastructure that Bitcoin was, or Ethereum, or distributed ledger technologies. And that's where the money is. As much as y'all hate Craig Wright was the chief science officer of nChain, and nChain has filed so many patent applications. They've cited my patent 30 times, at least. Okay. I have 4 now. I just got a patent last week in the US.
And people are asking, so tell us about some of your patent victories and the issues you're having enforcing them, I guess, or some of the things that are going on with it.
Well, I can't discuss that. It wouldn't be prudent. But, if you know how to read patents, read them. Some real assets, no joke. And I'm not the only one. You have 2 camps. You have the camp that's you have 3 camps. You have the camp that's part of the crypto club, the Winklevoss brothers, the Winklevi. They have a few patents early on. Armstrong and Coinbase, they have some. And those are the guys who are part of the crypto club, right? Generally younger than I am. I'm not a member of that club. I'm not welcome. You have another club, the old boys club, Wall Street club, the Bank of Americas and the JP Morgans and Goldman Sachs. Okay. They're not necessarily in cahoots with the crypto club, but they use the crypto club because the crypto club has a decent amount of infrastructure. I expect them to take over very soon. Okay. And then you have those who are just not part of any club. And that's where a lot of people are sleeping on nChain. nChain has like 1,090 patents issued patents, according to them. And they have almost 4,000 patent applications. That's a lot, So if they only have like 1/2 of 1% in terms of strong patents, that's still a lot. And then you have guys like me, and I'm not going to opine upon myself, but, stay tuned and realize that if you're in a technology business and you don't check to see who owns the technology, you're making a very, very big mistake, man. It's absolutely foolish. In no other business have I seen this. Biopharma, biotechnology, robotics, chip fabrication, semiconductor, and no industry that I can think of, technology based, where you put money into the technology and not check to see who owns the technology or not. Absolutely foolish. So you're gonna see a lot of feelings get hurt over the next year or two, in my opinion.
Okay, I was just about to. So all right, so there we go. I'm about to try to get some clues for us, folks. So we're looking at a 1 to 2 year timeline on some advancements, folks. I was just going to ask you that too. When it comes to this timeline, what are like the next steps for you, if you can talk about them, like where you're at right now?
Oh well, there's not much I could say right now, but
Okay.
I've been working hard on this since 2013. I've had been faced a lot of roadblocks, but if you take a look at what I've accomplished, I had the biggest and so-called brightest brains in the country or in the world, in the U.S., attempt to break the patented IP, invalidate it, etc. And someone's been winning every time. Of course, you're never going to read about that in the mainstream media, but I also don't want to discuss it because I'm at the point now where I should just keep my mouth shut. If you understand what I mean.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Listen, I hope I never have enough to get to that point. I always want to maintain a little bit of having nothing, so I can always feel like I can say the craziest shit, and it's not a big deal to lose. Like, you know what I mean? Listen, if I'm not used to hitting 3-pointers or whatever, and you put me in a basketball game and I miss, no big deal. I shoot all day and miss. I'm okay with that. But if it's if it's one of those things,
I don't have anything. If you're into hip hop, there was this group out of Jersey called the Poor Righteous Teachers. That's me. I'm poor, righteous.
That's all. I'm just trying to make it, man. Look, if I was Steph Curry and I'm missing 3, everybody be like, "Oh, he missed a 3 this game." But if I'm always missing 3s, it's okay. All right. So I like to keep it at just low enough a level to where I can always say what I want. I was looking at who was it? I forgot the actor name. Some actor on the I can't remember his name. He was on the Shannon Sharp, Terry Crews, and he was talking about how he's finally learned to be quiet and all this other stuff. He don't want to mess up his money. I'm like, see, that's not real to me, man. Like, I get it, but I'm in the business of messing up my money. Okay, that's why I got Bitcoin. I'm going to ask you this because Jake Fever has been, I would say, when it comes to your lawsuits, he's not, or your patents, he's not on board. He's not on board with anything that doesn't go with moving forward. So his question to you was, do you think by the time you win or have any, I guess, anything that comes from this patent lawsuit, would you have been better off by putting your efforts into Bitcoin? Is his thoughts?
Absolutely not. I think he asked me that before. Someone did. Again, right? I'm not putting my money into Bitcoin. I'm not discussing my patents at all. Okay. But if you had somebody, again, I use the internet back in 1993, you bought IP packets or you own the actual infrastructure that those packets ran on, who would be better off? That means you owned everything that Google did and Facebook and Netflix and Apple, etc. A lot of you guys are not realizing, you're squabbling over crumbs and someone owns a bakery company nationwide. So It's not even about crumbs in the cake. It's crumbs who owns the bakery, who owns the bakery network. It's not even close. So if someone's able to patent this technology, it's not about whether you put your money in Bitcoin, would you be better? If you own the technology, you own Bitcoin itself, not some of it, all of it. Do you understand what I mean?
There it is. No, I definitely get what you're saying. The patent, I mean, yeah, if you win the patent or if the patent is enforced, you don't need to buy Bitcoin, is what he's saying. People like, you get paid off the market itself. So for sure.
You own Bitcoin. If you someone patented Bitcoin, right? They don't have to buy Bitcoin. It's already theirs. Would you buy that hoodie you have on?
Good point.
That's your hoodie, just because people don't realize it.
I would say, so going into this next quarter or whatever, especially as a halving happens, things start heating up, price action. You're starting to see the first story I covered today, where you're talking about U.S. lawmakers advance a resolution to get banks in on crypto custody. So as this all starts to mature and everything that's happening, not just with yourself, even looking at Craig Wright in the background, like, I guess they will have to retroactively go back and look at some of these patents and some of the new things that they're allowing to happen, such as crypto custody and banks? Is that the way it might work?
It's too late. Once you start infringing, you owe the money. If they could prove that you infringed, you have to pay them.
There it is.
I think you could look back 6 years, if I'm not mistaken, right? And you look forward to the end of the patent. Again, everybody's rushing in. Nobody's looking where they're going. People who say I'm not in favor of patents, it doesn't really matter to me. The most powerful and wealthy companies in the world are the biggest purveyors of IP.
The IP game. Listen, that's your old people game. I'm getting older, so I'm getting up on it. You put me onto it. You put me onto it, but I'm just like, I didn't know nothing about this. People, that is that good old boy next level club game. That IP, see a new market go crazy on the IP. Oh man, I didn't know nothing about it.
One of the first rights codified in the Constitution.
Yes,
it's taken seriously. Just because you don't understand it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So look at Apple and Samsung.
Apple went crazy with their patents, even the design. That's why phones don't look like Apple or whatever. So they went crazy with their patents. I'm well aware of them. Last couple questions. People are asking about Veritasium. They said, can you do a fork of Veritasium?
Because of certain beefs with certain regulatory agencies, I don't even bother with Veritasium tokens anymore. I did say that I would strongly consider, if it doesn't bring harm to me, I would allow the tokens to discount licensing to the patent. And if and when that time comes, if it's doable, legally and financially, practically, I will do it.
There it is. I'll tell you what, I can't wait to see what happens. I think once this is all settled when it comes to your patents, as well as Craig Wright's, it's going to add not only clarity.
Let me just jump in. Like, they're not Craig Wright's patents. I believe he had a company.
Oh, okay.
And Shane. He sold a decent amount off to an investor, also an Australian, but it doesn't really matter what his name is. The investor has a lot of money and is being bankrolled. They're producing.
I got you. Like, he the rapper. I get it.
Yeah,
I understand.
They're like, he's the rapper. He doesn't own it.
He's the rapper. All right, I got you. Thanks for that. All right, so regardless, whoever patents, what you think? I can't wait until we do get to the point to where the United States are looking at and enforcing all the patents across the landscape, because I can't wait to see how the market shifts and reacts to that. Not only, of course, from a price point of view, but from an actual market point of view. What companies will have to do what, who have to shut down and redo this. So I can't wait to see how that's actually going to happen. What are your thoughts here for the next month? We're about to go into the halving. Any thoughts when it comes to Bitcoin and the overall market leading up to and then after the halving that anybody should know about?
Well, let me walk you through first what you said before. The government doesn't enforce patents. It's like you win a lawsuit. The government doesn't enforce the judgment. You have to go and get your money. They just give you the paper to allow you to do it. So the owner of the patent is the one who enforces it. Those with resources are going to enforce patents unless there's a strategic reason not to. Okay. But if you worked all your life to create something and then everybody's making money from it but you are going to do something about it. Okay. That shouldn't put anybody out of business unless they're infringing on the patent of a direct competitor, okay, or someone who wants to get in the business. And then that company or person can say, no, you can't. I'm not going to license you the technology. I just want you to stop using it. That's a problem. That will put a company out of business. But usually they license the technology and move forward. Problems don't occur unless you have somebody who wants to fight. No, I've been stealing it and I'm going to keep stealing it. I don't want to pay for you. Well, then that's a fight, right? If you're a public company and you lose that fight, you have a big problem. Or if you're a public company and you don't even reveal that there is a fight, I believe you may have a problem. So just a little clarity there. Now, moving forward to Bitcoin, I think people just miss the whole point of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is still a technology. It doesn't matter how many Wall Street guys come in. I'm from New York, by the way. And I'm a finance guy by nature and nurture. But, people are trying to force a technology into a security. I can understand why Gensler et al. Want to do that because that's their purview. They're regulators and they want to regulate something. They can't regulate technology, so they make it a security and call it that. But, you guys and girls as investors need to understand what you're investing in. Okay, it's a technology, and then they've financialized, I don't say securitized, financialized one aspect of it, part of the application. Bitcoin with a capital B is a network.
It's a network, exactly. I hate that people are. I'm with you on that. I hate that they're trying to make it into just. I'm like, hold on. That's one of like 10 attributes. Just because it was so they tall, so they NBA player. What if they a tall track runner? What if they just a tall business person? What are we doing here? No, they tall. They play basketball today. Like no. So I agree with you. They're trying to. Oh, this is an aspect we like. This is what it is. Like nah, bro. That's not.
But that's gonna come back and bite a lot. So you have capital B Bitcoin, which is a network, right? And then you have lowercase Bitcoin, which is an application written on top of the network. That application is a digital currency. Okay. And they're taking the digital currency, they're driving the price up to invest in it because they can. Okay. But they're missing the boat. A, because it's technology, somebody likely owns something, especially technology that's that old. Okay. B, right, it's a lot of competition. I can almost guarantee you that the Ethereum ETFs are going to do better over a 5 to 10 year period.
Oh, I would agree with that.
Ethereum has a lot more functionality than Bitcoin, and there's a lot more reason for people to attempt to commoditize it, etc. And then I think all these networks, and everybody running in without checking to see who owns it, they're going to get their feelings hurt. You know, a lot. I mean, I've never seen this in my life, man. You know, never seen it.
I get it, and I agree with you. So here's the thing. I agree with you as far as the way they're going about it, because it's not just now. I've seen, like, again, I've consulted with some very, you have too, everybody, like, but you've seen some of the bigger companies we talked with and spoke with, even the company when we were together at the Bitcoin conference, and you're just like asking simple questions like, who's your banker? And they're like, well, we don't have a banker. You're like, come on, man, who's your, like, you get into it and they're like, okay, well, it's Chase Bank and this is that. And it's like, all right, so that's the real answer that took us 10 minutes to get here. So it's like, we know how crazy it is if you really were to press down. We know how crazy and convoluted and how illegal a lot of the stuff is going on is, but it doesn't seem like the government cares or the overall market cares. So that's like, since 2016, that's what's thrown me off when it comes to predictions and everything. Well, not by a lot, but that's my 10% error right there, is that I'm always looking at, well, this should happen because 2 + 2 = 4, but it's like, I didn't expect these companies to not know what they're doing, for people to only chase the money, for the government to play dirty. And it's like, you get all these different variables that aren't the 2 + 2 = 4. They're shit that has nothing to do with the equation, but they're actually factored into the equation. So it just throws me for a loop, which is why even now I'm just like, I hear you and I get it and I agree. But my only thing is, does the market care enough, and will the government care enough? Or will they all just try to say, nope, this doesn't happen, this isn't here, we're going to try to ignore it and we don't see it? I don't know.
Well, I'll give you my opinion. The market is ignorant, and there's no real market, right? You have people who are selling things, and you have sheeple who listen. You know, they're not searching; they're being led, and that's it. And the government could care less. Why should the government care? You know, they get their due no matter what. You know, just because they do. I'm like, just because things are patented doesn't mean they don't grow. The cell phone industry, perfect example. One of the fastest growing, most ubiquitous industries in the world in terms of tech, right? Everything is patented. Here, this is my Galaxy, whatever, S24 Ultra. It competes with the iPhone 15 Pro. The iPhone has well over 1,200 patents in it. Okay, this probably has more. Have you seen Apple struggling to sell iPhones? Have you seen Samsung struggling to sell anything? You know? And they have more patents than anybody else, right? Patents is just part of doing business. Now, I can't see someone trying to build an entire cell phone company like Apple or Samsung, or even new ones like Apple, and not even bother to check what's patented or not. You're guaranteed to be put out of business.
I get you. Patents
didn't put you out of business. Your own stupidity put you out of business. You know, you built an entire city on someone else's land, and then, you know, got an attitude when they came to evict you, you know?
Right. Last one for you. Thanks for the super chat, Sergeant Crypto. He said, hey, Reggie, how can you patent something that's supposed to be open source? Isn't that like saying I patent the internet? I'm just curious, because they're saying it's Bitcoin supposed to be open source. So they're saying, how can you patent it? Is their thoughts?
Okay. So I'll explain that. And I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a patent attorney. I'm just a dad, right? So open source means that you freely give out code according to a certain license. Okay. That doesn't mean it was yours. You know, what kind of car do you drive, King?
I'm not driving right now, man. Yeah, I don't drive right now.
Okay.
Uber. I'm an Uber.
A better example, I don't drive either, right?
Right.
Your apartment, you're about to sell it, right?
Right.
You're about to move. You move into a new apartment, okay? Let's suppose we move into that new apartment. You move in tomorrow, and I'm sitting there with my ashy feet on the table, no socks, no shoes on. And then you look around, and I rented 3 of the rooms out in your apartment. You had a nice 3-bedroom, right? A bunch of other dudes, ashy feet on the table, a couple of girls there. And like, what's going on? I'm like, nothing. I just open source your apartment. Don't worry about it. I'm not charging anybody. I'm giving away for free. It's open source, right? Just because I open source your apartment doesn't mean it was mine to open source. So you can use open source software. That doesn't mean the entity that open sourced it owned it to open source. That means they just gave it away for free according to a certain license. Saying something's open source doesn't tell you who owns it or who doesn't. If that's the case, I could go and steal everybody's car and create my own free Uber company, right? Every time I see a car, I just, clock the person driving it, jump in, open source it, and give rides for free.
But open source doesn't show ownership. I get what you're saying.
Right.
There you have it. All right. Well, as always, Reggie, much appreciate you coming in, stopping by, dropping jewels. As always, we definitely going to be keeping up what's happening, man. Like I said, I hope this comes to a resolution sooner or later in your favor. So we can see some things shift up in the market. You got any last messages you want to leave everyone with?
Do real research. I'm very curious to see how the Craig Wright thing goes, because he says that SegWit and Bitcoin has been patented, covered by 3 different patents. I wouldn't take it seriously except for the fact they have over 1,000 patents issued, and other parts of Bitcoin I know are patented by more than one entity. I know for a fact because I went through it myself. And again, it's very curious to see what happens. I'm not in favor of anybody winning or losing. I'm in favor of people learning how to do real research and we get back to real investment fundamentals. So I'm a fundamental investor. I used to be a stock picker and I was very good at it. I can tell you who's going to crash, who should be shooting up. But when you change the rules and 1 + 1 = 15 and up equals down, and
that's what I'm saying.
I'm not good at that.
And for people who've seen this market, it's funny too. I had a conversation with myself a week or so ago because I was looking at some tokens. I'm like, damn, I'm really more or less, I'm definitely a fundamental investor in this market. Again, I've done TA on my own, looked at other TA, and TA does help at times. It really helps to me when I put them both together to kind of get that bigger picture. But my thing is just so much stuff fundamentally and just has nothing to do with trends and charts that are happening that you have to pay so much attention to it. Even with this whole ETF fiasco, it is like no chart on the planet would have prepped you for this because you don't know if the ETF is going to pass, when it's going to pass, how it's going to pass. So I'm with you on that. But again, it only works if 1 + 1 = 2. Right now, that is not the environment we're in, right? They're in. Well, 1 isn't actually 1. 1's actually 3. It just looks like a 1. But there's actually, it's like, whoa, wait, what is going on right now? So I'm with you on that.
Well, here's the next shot that I think people are going to discover. They're going to discover that, the crypto markets infrastructure is not what people think it is, because again, they're trying to make this Wall Street when it's actually, open source software that was put out to the world and developed upon. Exchanges are not exchanges. Kraken and Binance and Coinbase, they're not exchanges. They're broker dealers, okay, where they buy and sell assets either from their own account, which would make them a dealer, or other people's accounts, which would make them a broker. And I don't want to say that they're dealing in securities because I actually don't really believe that myself. But, if you break it down to its most simplest aspect, they're just big escrow companies. You have a big broker, a big exchange, crypto exchange, which is a real broker dealer. They get a bunch of crypto, they put it in a cold wallet, and then put a little bit in a hot wallet to facilitate some liquidity. And then they just take your money. So you send Coinbase $100,000, okay, to buy $50,000 of Bitcoin, $50,000 of Ethereum, okay? They don't move any Bitcoin or any Ethereum. It goes in and on their server, a centralized server, they simply say, credit, debit, credit $100,000, debit 50,000 of Bitcoin, 50,000 Ethereum. You could trade back and forth to whatever you want. And that's just a server, crediting, debiting transactions. When you want your assets back, okay, they'll either close you out and send the assets from their wallet, or they'll send you cash. And that's the entire business. Now they're trying to expand because that was profitable, but it's very volatile. So they're going into other services such as staking and lending and layer 2s, etc. But at the end of the day, it's the same business. A wallet, a bank account, and a server, right? Except for maybe staking pools and nodes and all that. And that's all the entire business is. So when people realize that, they say, wow, that's profitable. So now all the big banks are coming in. Fidelity competes directly with Coinbase. Most people don't realize that. $4.5 trillion. But let's suppose all that stuff was patented by somebody, a very small amount of people. The entire financial system going forward now, as they want to secure it, tokenize everything, is owned by a very small group of people. If that small group of people is not part of the club, violence.
Right.
You know?
And all we need is for one of those people to see it all the way through and to make sure Gentlemen of Crypto becomes the premier media channel out there. And on that, thank you for coming back again, Reggie Middleton. We will see you soon, man. And I hope you have a great weekend.
Well, thank you. You do the same, brother.
Yes, sir. Cheers, cheers. Shout out to Reggie Middleton. We got Bitcoin Chris in the house. Bitcoin Chris, what up, though?
Yo, what up, though?
How you been,
Happy
man? You doing
Friday,
all right?
man.
Happy Friday,
what's going
man.
on?
Hey, man,
Yeah,
just
man.
trying to get these bags together, you know?
Hey, I like that hoodie, man. I like that hoodie.
Shout out, was this you, Jake? I don't know if this is, I didn't say it earlier because I can't remember. Hey, finally, shout out to the Warriors. I used to not have enough crypto stuff. I have way too much crypto shirts and hoodies now to the point I need a class. Look at him.
Yo,
listen,
tell me how I was on, because I be on Bovada sometimes betting on the games, and I pull up the website, and this is what I saw, and I was like,
listen,
yeah.
I'm going to tell you all a funny, unfunny story. So this picture, I think this has been in like the AT&T commercial. It's been in a bunch of commercials. I did this when I first got to Hollywood, stock footage. And yeah, man, they pay you one time BS check for that. And then they sell it to other companies month after month. Everybody gets a taste off you, and fuck you. But listen, I don't mind, only because I love it, though, honestly, because some of my game plans in the future, all it is free advertising for me. But yeah, it's funny as hell. Right? That, man, I got, listen, it's like, it's probably like 10, I got 10 or 15. I had to do it, people. When I first started modeling, I had to get my name out there. I needed some pictures. I had to meet people. I did like 10 different stock things, 10 or 15 different stock photos and videos. And oh man, them things be making their rounds, let me tell you.
Bro, I saw that. I'm like, I can't wait till Friday to show this, man.
I'll tell you all some of my mini game, but here's the mini game plan. I can't go into too much detail, but basically, here's the thing. Hollywood think they've tricked me into signing in perpetuity contracts and stuff like that, where you get paid one time, they share it everywhere. What they don't understand is that I'm just using all of them for free marketing and publicity. So hey, I'll take the one-time check or whatever. You running them, hey, run it until I'm 60 years old. The legend lives. All right, I'm from the east side of Detroit. I'm not supposed to be on nothing like that, okay? So I'm always proud when I see it. That's what's up.
Nah, I'm happy for you. I'm actually, my girl sent me application because her friend is in LA, and I'm gonna probably be doing a commercial for tequila.
Oh,
so cool. I'm probably gonna be out there.
Oh, I seen the tequila. I know you're talking about the one that aired just like a week ago. Hey, I hope I get it. Did you get it? You got it?
I mean, my homegirl, she gonna let me know.
Oh man, I hope you do, man. Yeah, they paying good. They pay. Hey, Chris, they paying like $4,000 for this little commercial.
You
see what's up now? You see, hey, one 2 days. Yeah, yes, sir. I apply, and hopefully we both on set. That would be hilarious, bro. I hope that would
be dope. Oh, and also, you was on set. Remember, I sent you the message on. I don't know if you know that's me. You should know it's me or not. On Instagram when you was at the set and you had the girl rubbing on you, and you was looking fly, bro.
Recently. Yeah. So that was a shout out to Harlem Perfume Company. They're actually launching this weekend. Perfume company out of Harlem, unisex perfumes, cologne. I sprayed some on. Listen, man, this thing smells amazing. But yeah, that was a tight shoot right there. That was another good one, man. Listen, thank you, Hollywood. I have no bad comments on Hollywood. From what I've noticed, just to let everybody know, Hollywood only plays with people who used to get played with. It's the best way I can say it.
They play with who allows it. You allow it to get played, you're gonna get played.
Hey, if you allow certain things, or you joke about certain things, or don't mind certain things, then yeah, they come at you full force with it because they're like, oh, We're gonna see exactly how much you with this play. It's almost like real gangsters. You get around some real gangsters and you think you tough, and then they do some gangster stuff, and then you're like, why you acting weird, bro? It's the same thing. Hollywood on some real weird shit. So if you have any little jokey joke or any sentiment of weirdness, they can be like, oh, all right, well, let's be weird together. Now it's the whole thing. If you
open
up
that
front,
door.
yeah, if you up front, let them know ain't no weird shit happening. And yeah, I don't like to be people friends. I like to get my money and go home. Yeah, they're gonna treat you as such. It's all good. So shout out to Hollywood so far. I hope it continues like this. Life has been good. What you got for us on the crypto front?
Yeah, so next thing is BitExit. I have a party in July. It's a little bit farther away, but I'm getting everything set up. It's called BitExit here in Orlando. I got the inspiration of the title from Andreas Antonopoulos, and one of his speeches, he was talking about BitExit. So I was like, all right, that's a dope idea, dope name, exit out of the system. So we're going to have that in July. Bitcoin Zay is going to be one of the guest speakers, and he's coming as well. So, of course, the invite for you and everybody listening, you guys want to go, come on out. It's probably going to be a bigger event. We're going to have it at an Airbnb, but we're probably going to do it at a bigger event because it's probably going to be like 500 people. It's not like the conference where it's thousands and thousands of people. We just want it to be a little bit more intimate, not so many people. So bit-exit.com and get your tickets there. And then if you guys have been following me on YouTube and Twitter, TA has been absolutely on point this week, been, killing it with the trades this week, made a lot of money this last week trading.
Nice.
So if anybody's been following, that's pretty dope. But I think we're going to hit all-time highs, if not this weekend, by Monday. I think we'll see a repeat of what happened this Monday. Yeah, there it is right there. This Monday by last Monday. What happened last Monday, if that doesn't happen by next Monday, I'll be very surprised. But, we're going to have the cook-off, what you're looking at. We're going to have a steak-off. So VIP, you get to cook a filet mignon. Best steak gets some Satoshis. You get to win 2 million Satoshis. We're going to go to a bowling alley. And these things are subject to change. We're going to have live DJs. What else is on there? We're going to have a resort day. We're supposed to have a resort day. We might not do that. But we're going to have food. It's going to be real dope, so.
And where's this at? Where's the location?
It's going to be here in Orlando, Florida. And right now we're going to do it at an Airbnb, but depending on how many people come, we're probably going to probably do it at a hotel or resort. So we got Camilla and we got Armando. Armando's really dope. And Camilla's with Swan. And of course, Bitcoin Zay. And if you want to come, of course, you're welcome to come. Awesome, and if you want to speak as well, that'd be dope as well. I'll put you up on there, add you to the roster.
Man, let me look. What month is it? What month is it?
July 19th and 20th. So that's the third week in July in Orlando.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to look at that.
If you come out, you wouldn't have to worry about accommodation.
Oh, cool. So, okay, I'll let you know for sure. I got to go holler at Mickey anyway. There's some issues I got to get. I want to go to the headquarters. I want a satellite location. I need to go to the headquarters, HQ, real Mickey Mouse. I need to holler at you about something, partner. Heard you've been taking over the United States on the slow.
And then I want to say, somebody check on Bitcoin Vegan. He put up a bet and said that Bitcoin wouldn't hit, and so many people talking crap right now. I find it hilarious that not Bitcoin Vegan, but other people. The higher Bitcoin goes, the more people that don't understand Bitcoin, they start to grift on Twitter, right? And I don't know if you've been on. I know you're not probably on Twitter so much, but
right. I keep saying for years I'm gonna get on it. So go ahead.
You gotta get on. It's so funny, bro. It is so funny on there. But the more higher Bitcoin goes, the more people that don't know a thing about Bitcoin start grifting and talking crap about Bitcoin, and they'll be humbled. But Bitcoin Vegan said that he didn't think Bitcoin was going to hit all-time highs before halving. I think we are. So somebody pray for Bitcoin Vegan because he's about to be out of some Satoshis right now. All right.
I don't think we'll get to it over the weekend. Like you said, I think the weekend is more of a 64, 65. We can reach those levels because I know we did reach them, but we didn't sustain it. So it's about actually staying there. I think finding the support and staying at 64, 65 is more realistic for the weekend for me. But I'm with you. I think in the next week or 2 weeks, if we continue on the same trajectory, we definitely can see it happen for sure.
If you can pull up my Twitter page real quick, I have the chart, the TA chart.
You'll send me the link. For a guy that's not on Twitter, you should know how hard that it actually is.
I can't send you a link because it won't let me.
Okay, well, I'll try to pull it up real quick. Let me see.
Yeah, just twitter.com/Chris Knight 407.
All right, cool.
And so we have a bull flag right now. Go ahead.
KN? Chris Knight. Yeah, okay, cool. So we got a bull run right now. All right, boom, we got you. Hold on, go ahead.
Oh, bull flag. I'll wait till you pull it up. We got a bull flag coming up right that I just saw. Oh, you're not logged in, so you're not gonna be able to see it. It's just gonna show you my my most popular tweets. I don't know why it does that now.
Oh, I can't see them unless I log in.
Yeah, I don't know why it does
Oh
that.
man. Okay, let me try log in the background. But go ahead and explain it while I'm doing this though.
So bull flag. So right now the bull flag target is 73,000. Again, if you guys have been following me on Twitter, go ahead and scroll down right on the timeline. You can see that back in January I called and said that it looks like we're gonna go. Back in 2022, I said January looks like it's go time. That Bitcoin's gonna go.
What are you looking at?
That first picture of that dude that was talking reckless. I was
Oh,
just
is that
laughing.
him? Oh, he said, wait, he says 0 chance that it goes higher than 100?
Yeah, I know. That's
What?
the whole point.
He just, see, that's why I don't be on. Was he for real or was he joking?
To be honest with you, I don't know. He's probably serious.
Exactly.
Though.
That's why I ain't got time to be on Twitter sometimes, bro, because this is goofy shit sometimes. I'm like, come on, stop it. Knock it off. All right. Oh, wow. You got a $73,000 target.
That's right. So if you draw the flag,
I mean, listen. Have you ever heard of the term support levels? Good. Can we get to 70, Chris? That is a psychological metric.
Yeah, but you know what happens is the shorts get squeezed. You're right, and then FOMO kicks in. So you got to remember, and then
it pushes past it. That's true. That's true.
So you got to remember, there's a whole bunch of factors that play into. Once we hit targets, it's gonna probably wick up to that point and then pull back. You know.
Okay, I can agree with that.
Everybody.
That's fair.
I'm gonna slap up everybody. So I drew this flag last night, and I said, "Hey, I think this is the target. We're ranging right now in that triangle, and I think we're gonna pop out. I think as soon as we break 64K, which is that red line on top, which is the resistance, then we're gonna definitely shoot up. So we'll see how that goes. That's just my prediction. But if you guys scroll down my timeline, I've called 60K, I called 50K, I called. You know, I've been using TA to, make some money. So if you guys want to make some extra money, I definitely give the alpha for free on Twitter. And then if you guys want to learn how to trade, I have a Discord as well. And I be posting on y'all Discord, but nobody be in there.
I know, man. It's been slow. We haven't been in there like that, but we're gonna crank that back up because I was about to say, start posting more, and we'll crank that up in the trading side on Discord for the.
And let me give y'all some S coins, and then I'll let y'all go.
Here we go.
All right, so S coins I got is LAI. Write this down, King, because when they
right. Well, I got to write down because I haven't said many. I got a whole list of some right now. People, y'all know I'm a dumpster diver, so I got a list right now, but I don't have it out in front of me as well. Hold on, let me see if I can bring this up because I just want to see if some of yours are the same as mine. Hold on, real quick. Got to go to my photos.
You good? I'll send you a screenshot too on IG.
Okay, they're in different. They're different. What I do, I usually take screenshots, and I got to go back and look at my screenshots to see which ones I was on. But all right, so go ahead. We got LAI. What else? Hey, and really quick for those who are listening too, give them a one quick sentence of what this is and why it's interesting. So LAI, what?
To be honest with you, I ain't even look it up, bro. I ain't even look it up.
It's cheap. It sounds like. So go ahead next. Real degenerate activity, Chris. I love it. Listen, this is some real DJ shit. Can you give us one sentence about why people should look at it? Man, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Don't even know. I love it. Sounds like I should put $25 in it today. I might go ahead and do it. Let's put $25 in. You can't go wrong. It must. If you say I don't know, it better be less than a nickel. That's all I know.
You want me to lie to you?
No, I love it. It better be it better be less than a nickel though. All right, so we got LAI
over here stealing hacks. All right.
All right, what else we got? Oh, wait. LB Crypto said Layer AI is a fake AI project. Now a docs team. All right, listen. Even if it's fake, it's another. We're doing DJ move. Yeah, we don't. It don't matter. It's DJ moves right now.
We ain't holding this long term.
All right, here we go. Hey, goodness, say y'all shilling unregistered securities again. All right, 2 cents. Satoshi Sim said 2 cents. Everybody in the comments laugh. All right. So as a forewarning, I know I got to do this because sometimes people are so smart they don't understand this. But let me be clear. At this moment, people, we got 2 stories left in a few minutes. We're gonna cover some shit coins. I'm gonna cover these last 2 stories. Enter these at your own risk. Do not put any bill money on it. This is the money you was gonna give to somebody who's on the corner. I'm in LA too much. The homeless person, the unhoused. That's the money you put on this. All right. Somebody says 2 cents, like 100 max. All right. I don't want to see you all in a story next year saying I put 1,000 in, I got 60 million back. No, it don't work. I don't even want to see that shit. All right. 100 max in this. All right. So we got LAI. What else we got? I had to do the precursors so people won't be like, they told us to buy LAI coin and everything else. I'm like, no. All right, so we got LAI.
Nothing. I'm telling y'all what I'm doing, and then if you want to, you're a grown.
That's why listen. The show was called Best Altcoins We Buy. We named it that for a reason. We had other names. I was like, hell to no, bro. I told Zay earlier. I said it was one thing. I understand a little bit of securities laws. And the part I did understand, I was like, it's the best altcoins we buy. I don't know what y'all doing. This is what I'm doing. But go ahead, LAI.
Crypto Hayes, aka Arthur Hayes, he was talking about Filecoin, so I had to throw some in there. FIL.
FIL. Oh, oldie but goodie. Filecoin I actually thought was going to be the future a little bit, but I don't know what happened with the project. All right, what else we got?
Again, I don't care. To be honest with you, I don't care about none of these coins. I just want them to, 5 to 10x. Now,
the good thing with Filecoin, I got to look at the charts and the price, but I will say the good thing is that it does have that community in it, so that they usually do see a pump every bull cycle. All right, I'm not sure where it's been, but usually Filecoin is good for them. All right, what else we got?
We got FLR.
All right.
What's that price? It's at 4 cents.
Okay.
Filecoin's at $8 right now.
Ooh, yeah, man. $8 scary.
So I think Filecoin can hit $100 easy if you look at the chart for that.
Oh man, I need to look. It's been a while, but I would tell you off the top of my head, not only no, but hell no. So I definitely need to look at that chart again. But go ahead. What? All right, I'm gonna look at that chart again.
I'm trying. Did you really think Solana was gonna run like how it ran? Solana went up to 200, came all the way back down, and then ran right back up to 100 and something.
Yeah. But here's the thing, though.
I can do that. Filecoin can definitely hit 100.
Here's the difference, though. I gotta say, here's the difference. Solana is still new, so people are giving it that. All right, they made a mistake here. All right, network outages here. This happened. FTX. You know what I mean? I think if Filecoin, like you got to remember, Solana. If Solana was as old, Filecoin been around since Filecoin is the 2017 prices on here. So yeah, I get what you're saying. All right. Oh, I get what you're saying. Okay. Yeah, its all-time high was $170 in 21. Here's my only thought on it. Filecoin was popular in 2017, right? So 2017, 2018, or whatever. I'm thinking that 2021 pump was some of that, like am I muted the whole time?
You just I said.
Oh man,
but you back now.
My fault, people. My only thought with Filecoin specific, again, Solana, I think their pump that they're going to have, and some of the pump they just had, is their original audience because it's new. This pump for Filecoin, where it hit $168 or whatever, $170, to me, that was some of the 2017 crowd. This crowd came in at $18, $19 at the top, $30, and it dipped to $3.80. Dipped to $2, $3, whatever. So that was that crowd hanging in there until that first pump. So my only question now would be, did these same people that saw Filecoin hit $175, are they sticking around for another burst of that goodness, or did they call it quits? So I do get what you're saying. It could return to that. It looks like people are bullish.
Hey, even just to $80, that's 10x, right? And even if it doesn't hit 80, 5x, right? Just a little bag to hold.
I'm with you on that. No, I am with you on that. I'm with you on that. I see what you're saying. I'm just off the And they do, and I will be honest, they do have a community. I used to be in the community. I mean, so they definitely do. All right, I'm with you on that. I'm with you. My only thing though, and here's the thing, while I agree, let's say 45.50. That's fair. That'll be half the all-time high. While I agree, you just have to ask yourself, is it worth putting, again, that's $8 a pop right now versus some other ones that we're rushing to get to $1. I mean, look, you look at Caspa, was that 14 cents right now or something? I don't even know what Caspa is actually. I haven't looked at it in a while.
That's 17 cents.
All right, so see, last time I looked, it was at 14. Caspa going to $1. All right, and Caspa, unfortunately, I jumped in and out of it a few times, but I remember Casper was less than a penny, folks. Like, it was less than a penny not that long ago. Last year, February last year was less than a penny. So, and for those who don't know, Casper has been my Dogecoin for like the last year or two, or however long it's been out. Casper has been my Dogecoin. So Casper's going to $1, people. Point blank, period. I'm telling you now. So right now, that's your 4 or 5x right there. So that's my only question is like, do you jump into Filecoin and wait around, or do you jump into the Caspers of the world? And honestly, Casper is expensive. Casper expensive, 17 cents. Hey, listen, it's some new ones right now I got on the list, people. That's less than a penny that will be going to a penny, if not 10 cents. So again, that's always a question. All right, I didn't mean to interrupt. What else do we got though?
Now you good. You got to share that list with me too. NFP,
NFP,
FLR.
all right.
Yeah, so you guys
FLR.
write this down. Won't take too much longer. FLR, NFP, 5 IRE.
5 IRE.
5, the number 5.
Right, IRE.
IRE.
Okay.
I guess it's called fire. Or
Yeah.
Fiverr. I don't know what it's called. And then POLS.
POLS. I feel like I heard of that one too before. We got checked out. All right, there we have it. These are our shit coins for the week. Much appreciate Bitcoin Chris for coming in and shilling them. We can't be mad at that. Absolutely. Hey, of course, everyone do your own research. And again, give me until I don't think I'll have my internet up and pumping at a new spot until Saturday afternoon, evening. So give me Saturday night, Sunday, and I'll be on Discord with my list as well. Because again, I was literally just waiting to move. I got to throw some capital in ASAP to get me some more of this good BTC. As always, Bitcoin Chris, appreciate it. What's your last messages for you call it today?
Yeah, make sure you guys follow me. I just changed my name on IG and on, I can't change it on Twitter for some reason, but Facebook and IG, it's going to be official Bitcoin Chris on IG, Chris Narfo 7 on Twitter. And again, I'm buying the coins, these, trash coins, these little tokens, right? To get more US dollar fiat. And then I'm going to be buying more Bitcoin. So every time I talk about Bitcoin, I got people talking about Doge and Ether, and that's fine and all, guys, but you need to understand the difference. And I think Bitcoin's going to outperform all that, especially with all the incoming capital that's inflowing into Bitcoin. So just keep that in mind, guys. And with that being said, man, you guys have a good weekend. Much love, bro. We'll see you soon.
There we go. Hey, have a good one, Chris. Always good seeing you, man. Thanks for coming on. Yes, sir. Yes. Hey, shout out to S1 Dubs. Hey, appreciate that, S1. S1 said I made a ton of money off best altcoins we buy. One of my picks. I went to sleep and woke up to a $20,000 bump in my wallet. Like, listen, that was a good show, man. Honestly, the only reason I stopped best altcoins we buy is because if you remember, around the same time Maccabee had started, or after, but around the same time, 2017, Maccabee started doing the Twitter pumps, and then it became like a thing where like all the new content creators came out. You remember, like when we started best altcoins we buy, Bitcoin was still probably, I would have to say, sub 500 or something. No, it was in 2017. It was probably like sub 1500. Let's say 1500 or something, right? But it was still super low. There weren't that many channels doing any altcoin work. And again, we started getting away from it because, all right, we already saw what the SEC was feeling, that energy, and then also like where the market was going was just altcoin, money, and that really wasn't the intention. It was more just to get people involved in crypto to look at Bitcoin or whatever. But yeah, I mean, that was a great segment. Like I said, I'm more than likely going to bring it back this year because definitely been doing some digging on the shitcoin side of the house. And yes, the best altcoins we buy was definitely making all of us some good gains. So I definitely need to revert back to that. All right, last couple of stories. First, Binance drops Nigerian Naira from P2P platform. Government demands $10 billion in compensation. This was more just of an interesting story. Why? Because once again, governments are blaming Bitcoin. The removal of the Naira by Binance from its P2P market comes amid claims by Nigerian authorities that the platform contributed to its devaluation. And this is what Reggie Middleton was actually talking about. And this was like, it's so messed up. And it's being allowed, like, bullying is real. Binance, regardless of what you think about Binance, it is a startup company. Binance is a startup company. Off the top of my head, Binance is 7 years old or less. Startup, 7 years max, is a 7-year-old max company. And a country is blaming the devaluation of its currency on that. Like, to even make your lips form those words to say this, to write this, to talk about this. If I was Nigerian, I will want to oust the entire government. You are blaming a startup company on the devaluation of our currency. Are you insane? I can't believe this is a news story, yet it is a news story. This is hey, shout out to the artist. Even the crypto is scratching his head like, wait, what? What are you talking about? Cryptocurrency trading platform Binance has removed the Nigerian currency. And shout out to Binance. I'll remove y'all too if you're going to say I'm the reason why your country failed. You know what? Take your shit off there and go about your business. We don't want losers over here. Has removed the Nigerian currency, the Naira, from its peer-to-peer service as the Nigerian government seeks $10 billion in compensation amid a crackdown on the crypto exchange. Hey, shout out to Nigeria, because this is what we were talking about. Once the bullies start bullying, they don't like the bully not going to take your lunch money and then the next day come and say, oh, you gave me some money yesterday. You good, bro? No, it's going to take your money the next day. And then on top of insult to injury, bullies are friends with other bullies. They're called gang members. They're going to tell gang and be like, hey, hey, shit. You go over there and get it from him. Oh, hey, bro, this motherfucker give up his money every day. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some bullies and gang members who don't want to share, right? That's they lick. No, where you get it from? Don't worry about it. Find your own. They're not going to tell you. But for the giving ones, the real cool ones, oh, man, hit them across the head. You can get them today. I'll give them Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You get them Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturday, all right? And that's all that happened. Nigeria saw that Binance capitulated. They gave the United States government $4 to $5 billion, didn't put up a fight. And they said, hell, if they gave the U.S. government $4 to $5 billion, let's ask them for $10 billion. We get what we get off it. Great play, Nigeria. I'm not mad at you. Why? They showed themselves to be weak already, and you are just trying to press for it. The only difference is that I think Binance CZ, he probably has a harder time to move through countries affiliated and friendly with the United States rather than Nigeria. So that's where you all might be overstepping your power. You probably should ask for 200,000 or something, 500,000, right? I think CZ could say, if we don't give Nigeria any money, most countries aren't going to extradite us back to Nigeria. They're not going to put pressure and put a press on us. They'll do it for the United States, but they're not going to do it for Nigeria. So I think Nigeria might have tried to ask for too much here. You're not that big of a bully. So you're a smaller bully. You probably should have came in and just said, all right, give us X, Y, Z. But whatever, they try to play the U.S. role, try to go hard with it. We'll see how Binance responds. So far, they just said, we'll just drop you. We're not worried about it. But we will see how they respond. In the BBC interview on March 1st, Bayo Onago, again, President Bola Tinubu's special advisor. So Bayo need to be fired. President Bola need to be fired. I'm not in Nigeria. I don't understand your politics. But what I do know on the global scale of a country is blaming its actual currency for being devalued on a private company that's only 7 years old. All y'all need to be fired together. But they revealed the update about the compensation demand shakedown, by the way, people, as part of efforts to stabilize the local currency. Onagwa said Binance would destroy the Nigerian economy if not stopped because it's arbitrarily fixes foreign currency exchange rates. Sounds like a personal problem to me. If I was on Binance's side, of course, it'd be two middle fingers up. And if I was on Nigeria's side, don't say a compensation demand and stop lying, okay? If I was on Nigerian side, I would say, hey, President Onubo, Boko, whatever, let's not lie. Let's be honest and just tell them what it is. It's a motherfucking shakedown. My messaging will be Binance, if you want to have any operations here, you're going to give us your money or else. In fact, you know what? We send our special forces around the world. Unless you're in a country where they're going to protect you from threat of foreign military, you need to give us that money. I'll just come out and say it, because this whole compensation plan and this, come on, it's a shakedown. You're extorting, though. Can we at least have the decency for gangsters to be real gangsters again? Why we got to play with it? All right, stop playing with it, Nigeria. You all are trying to extort Binance because you saw the United States extort Binance and get away with it. Just say that shit, all right? It might throw you some money. The peer-to-peer feature allows users, buyers, and sellers to trade without involving a third party. Of course, the government doesn't like that because it is that third party. It became popular in Nigeria in 2021 following the government's ban on its thriving crypto industry during former President Muhammadu Buhari's administration. And yeah, this is happening. Due to the rapid decline of the Naira and the resulting almost 3-decade high inflation rate of 29.9%. Let me say that one more time. 3 decades, 30 years, high inflation rate of 29.9%, yet they want to blame it on a brand new crypto company. The government turned its focus to platforms providing crypto services. These websites have become famous for trading and establishing an informal value for the Naira, which ain't shit because it ain't shit. It has nothing to do with the small startup that happens to trade crypto, which, by the way, when you look at it in just the broadest of the broad terms and layman terms, as Reggie Middleton just pointed out, they're nothing more than escrow companies. So essentially, you have a government and this president blaming an escrow company on the failed currency valuation. Wow, just wow, just wow. I love to see it. Once again, I have to ask the question, Nigeria, where did the crypto touch you? Listen, they really act like they've been assaulted by Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, like physically assaulted. Listen, this is technology. We have, and you all think this is crazy. I keep saying this. I'm going to keep saying it. We need to vote on what rights robots and clones have, if any. In my opinion, robots should not have any rights, regardless of how well they can speak and how well they make you feel. I'm saying this early because I already see what's going to happen, people. They're going to put a fucking personality and a face on a fucking Roomba, and you are going to be like, Roombas deserve rights too. Do you hear the way it talks? Do you see that little face it makes? Yes. We need to decide robot rights, if any, because already we're seeing governments facing off against technology. Nigeria is at a war with crypto. They're at a war with technology. What's going to happen when technology can talk back and make a face? All right, I'm trying to tell you, we need to decide these rights right now. All right, and on the on that note, I'm going to segue into the last story. Elon Musk sued Sam Altman, OpenAI, over agreement breach. Now, this story, while it doesn't have inherent crypto aspects to it, it is important to the crypto space because, of course, Sam Altman is doing Coin and other cryptocurrency projects, and this could have a bearing on it. Why? Because as we just saw the other day, something happens in OpenAI or AI, whatever, it affects their crypto projects because people think this is all conflated to one thing, even though it's not. But Elon Musk urges OpenAI to return to its open source principles and request an injunction to prevent the for-profit exploitation of AGI technology. So essentially, this is what's happening. OpenAI, Sam Altman, great idea. AI, what is he doing? Chat GPT or one of them? I don't know. He's doing one of those GPT things, whatever, right? Him and Elon Musk made a deal where that his information was going to be open source. Anyone can use it. On the back end, though, Sam Altman said, I can just partner with Microsoft and make more money quicker. And that's what happened. They did some type of Microsoft partnership, and Elon Musk found out and was furious. You're giving Microsoft a heads up. This isn't fair. It's supposed to be open source and blah, blah, blah. This is now closed source. And I want you all to not be able to do this. So he's going to court and blah, blah, blah. That's essentially what's happening. Elon Musk is mad that OpenAI chose up. It said, we don't like you. We don't want you. We like Microsoft. They're looking real pretty. And Elon didn't like that. And he said, I'm taking y'all to court over. Okay. That's essentially what's happening. A few things. I do think this is important because, again, what happens to OpenAI and Sam Altman, whatever, will also happen to the crypto project because right now people are looking at them as the same. And second thing is, this is kind of, to me, setting precedent. Here it is. Musk argues that this move toward proprietary tech benefits Microsoft financially, contradicting OpenAI's initial nonprofit mission. Who's to say when companies are allowed to make these pivots, how they make the pivots? Now you have Elon Musk crying to the courts. To me, this is super whack, by the way, too, because it's just like, how much is enough? A billionaire is arguing with another billionaire over a project they did with a billionaire. Like, really? Really? God don't make mistakes, man. I'm telling you, he does not. He, she, it does not make mistakes because you got these freaking losers in power and have capital to waste their time on this shit. I wouldn't be wasting my time on this at all. But again, I get it. Elon want to make sure he stays in the driver's seat. And if Sam Altman sides with Microsoft, that could slide him up out of it. So I get I'm all for open source technology. I think if every company were to actually be open source top to bottom, I mean, really think about this, people. Think about all the banks, Bank of America, Wells Fargo. Think about all the tech companies, Microsoft, Google, IBM, Apple. You think about every country government, right? If we were open source as a human population on the planet, we would already be in outer space. There would already be flying cars. Hell, we will be able to fly by now. Like jetpacks would be fucking already smaller. I don't know the word. They would be condensed to a size that works for people as well as the sound. Like every human problem we had, there will be a solution for if we were open source, I think. So I'm all for it, actually. I'm all for open source. I think more brains to it will help more problems be solved at a faster pace. But from a competition point of view, I do get it. And it's unfortunate to see. But again, the main part of this story is that as they go through this agreement breach, it wouldn't be surprising to me to see some alternate projects, like I said, Rollcoin and things like that, to start to actually dip. Not because of the value or anything, but because now you have an enemy, a big enemy, an Elon Musk enemy. So it's going to be interesting to see how this affects the prices of their crypto projects and other projects they're doing as well. All right, other than that, that is the show for the day. I definitely went a little bit longer than what I expected, but I'm glad. Again, the next show, while it's slated for Monday, I may miss it as I'm moving in. Again, I'm moving in on a Saturday, because I'm running around today and tomorrow. So the internet might not be up and perfect by Monday, nor the studio setup. I'm going to be inside the sign. I'm still on the top. Y'all know I'm doing top floors. I'm still on the top floor, but it ain't the same type of view and everything. So I'm probably going to do more of an inside approach and set the wall up. I got some good wall stuff or whatever for my travels. So I might set some stuff up on the wall. But other than that, see you all next week. Make sure you smash that like and share. The game plan is for me to be on the Discord Saturday night or Sunday afternoon, evening-ish, to do some degen moves or at least start looking at them. Just because I list a token don't mean to jump into it. Make sure you look at it as well. But these are the tokens I'm at least looking at the research. Like I said, I have a list. I want to make sure I drop off. Most of them are less than a penny as well. Other than that, smash that like and share. And I will see you all next week with some more news. Cheers.